Hey, welcome to a new video. Imagine being out in nature when all of a sudden you notice a strange movement. A river behaving not as a river should. This was filmed somewhere in India in an unknown location. On the left, you see an odd ripple that you might initially attribute to the wind or even mud beneath the water. Yet it appears as if something is moving. Then the mass underwater seems to be pushed forward. It moves slowly but forcefully through the murky water. If it were a natural phenomenon, wouldn't its motion be less deliberate and specific? Afterwards, something even stranger occurs. The mass surfaces as two dark greenish shapes, only to drift away again. What do you think it was? A natural phenomenon, a strange creature, or something supernatural?
Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video.
In this tweet, the CIA emphasizes that as the country's first line of defense, they do not shy away from danger, even if it appears to come from beyond Earth. One photo shows low-quality images of trees, but it seems that some UFOs can be seen, with the date at the bottom indicating the photo was taken in 1960. The second photo is a close-up showing a total of 5 UFOs, varying in size or distance. But what does it mean that the CIA has acknowledged UFOs and admitted that these extraterrestrial beings might pose a threat to the world? The strangest part of the post is that this was later removed. Could someone at the CIA have been trying to tell us something? What do you think? Nina Kulagina, a Soviet citizen, gained worldwide attention in the 1960s and 70s because of her alleged telekinetic abilities. She claimed she could move objects without physical contact, a skill she reportedly discovered by accident. Her case attracted significant interest from scientists during the Cold War, who investigated her abilities as possible evidence of paranormal phenomena and potential military advantages. Nina served in the Soviet Army during World War II, where she is said to have been injured. After the war, she began experiencing strange mental phenomena. She could move small objects such as matches, compass needles, and even more, using only her mind. In experiments, sometimes recorded on film, she appeared to affect objects without touching them. Several experiments were documented in which Nina seemingly moved small objects, stopped a frog's heart through concentration, and even changed the pH level of water. During the demonstrations, her body exhibited measurable physical strain, such as an increased rate at the abnormal EEG readings. Some reports claim that she suffered from health issues like headaches and fatigue as a result of her telekinetic efforts. Did Jesus Christ live in India? And was he abducted by a UFO? Meet the Adam and Eve story, written by Chan Thomas, a former employee of the US Air Force. This work was originally published in 1966, but was only partially available until recently, when previously classified sections were released for the first time in 50 years. Thomas claims that Jesus lived with the Naga tribe in North India for almost 18 years during a period of his life that is not documented in the Bible. Members of the Naga tribe told the British about Jesus and described him as a late teenager to young adult who studied and graduated from the Nakal Temple. According to Thomas, the Naga people regarded Jesus as a genius, and he spent 10 to 15 years mastering the local language. He asserts that Jesus' last words were spoken in the Naga language, which translates to, I am fainting, darkness overwhelms me." Thomas also suggests that on Easter Sunday, Jesus was abducted by extraterrestrial beings, with 2 angels descending in their spacecraft to manage the events following his crucifixion. Furthermore, he claims that the Genesis narrative is a parable about the downfall of a previous civilization, related to an extinction event that occurred before Noah's flood. In this video, you see a group of children playing on a beach, and at first, everything seems normal. However, they have no idea they're about to witness a scene straight out of a science fiction film. On February 17, 2002, a UFO emerged from the ocean in broad daylight, an incident that attracted much attention and still remains somewhat elusive. It's hard to believe it could be a submarine, as it seems too low for that purpose, and a ghostly ship figure appears as well. As filming begins, the ship becomes visible, but it does not appear to be sinking. Instead, it changes color against the coastal backdrop, further arousing curiosity. Perhaps it even resembles a container ship. Then we catch another glimpse of the ship, only for it to seemingly vanish. Just when you think it's gone, it reappears, splashing water. Do you think this is a UFO, or could there be an entire base beneath the ocean? Let me know in the comments. The Lake Winnipesaukee Mystery Stone is the name of an object discovered in 1872 by a group of workers near the lake in New Hampshire, USA. What makes this stone so mysterious is that no one knows where it came from, who made it, or how old it is. It was impossible to determine its age. The only clear fact is that scientists agree it wasn't naturally created. Research shows that tools were used to carve the bizarre symbols on the stone and polish its surface. Some suggest it was created by indigenous tribes, while others believe it could be an object not from this planet. After the man who found the stone passed away, it was sent to the New Hampshire Historical Museum. The story of Valiant Thor is a mix of UFO folklore and speculative fiction, primarily derived from Frank Strange's 1976 book, Stranger at the Pentagon. According to their tale, Valiant Thor was a humanoid extraterrestrial from Venus who landed in 1957 near Alexandria, Virginia, aboard a spacecraft called Victory 1. He's said to have met with high-ranking American officials, including President Eisenhower and Vice President Nixon. He shared advanced technology and a message of peace. His mission was to warn humanity of the dangers of nuclear weapons. It's also claimed that he offered technologies, such as a composite energy device for clean energy and a replicator capable of creating materials without the need for extraction. According to Stranges, Thor lived in the Pentagon for 3 years and maintained contact with political, scientific, and religious leaders.
The island of Bermeja was said to be off the north coast of Yucatan Peninsula in the Gulf of Mexico, according to several old maps. There were even recorded sightings of passing ships, so there was no reason to doubt whether or not the island existed. The first time the island was mentioned was in 1539 by the Spanish cartographer Alonso de Santa Cruz, and it was said that the island is an incredible 80 square kilometers in size. However, when the island was searched for in 1997, it couldn't be found. In 2009, an extensive search was conducted by the government of Mexico, but the huge island seemed to have completely disappeared. One explanation could be that the early Spanish cartographers had made a mistake. Other theories include the shifting of the ocean floor, rising sea levels, or even the destruction of the island by the United States CIA because oil reserves were thought to be nearby.
In December 2021, China discovered something strange on the far side of the moon. The object was first seen by China's Yutu-2 rover, part of the Chang'e 4 mission, which landed on the moon's far side in January 2019, the very first landing there. The rover captured a photo of a distant, seemingly cube-shaped object on the horizon while exploring the Von Karman crater. Due to its unusual shape and the barren lunar landscape, the object attracted considerable attention, both online and within scientific communities. Some speculated that it could be a large rock, a geological formation, or even something artificial, leading to humorous nicknames like the Moon Hut. Yutu-2 took several weeks to approach the object due to the rover's slow speed and the challenging lunar terrain. Some believe the cube might be an irregular rock and merely an optical illusion caused by the lighting and perspective. Others think it could be the result of a meteoroid impact that scattered debris across the surface. The rock was nicknamed Jade Rabbit, referencing the mythical Chinese rabbit said to live on the moon. The Baigong pipes are a series of rusty pipe-like formations found on Mount Baigong in China. You might wonder, what's so strange about that? According to scientists, these pipes were embedded in the mountains more than 150,000 years ago. What makes it even stranger is that there's a pyramid on the mountain, although years of erosion have left it in poor condition. Researchers also found that 8% of the minerals and metals in the pipes consist of unknown materials that cannot be identified. This has led theories to suggest that these pipes were placed by extraterrestrial civilizations, and that this site might have been an alien laboratory. Others argue that the pipes were naturally formed, while some believe prehistoric humans with advanced tech created them. Whatever the truth is, it remains a mystery. Others argue that the pipes were naturally formed, while some believe prehistoric humans with advanced tech created them. Whatever the truth is, it remains a mystery. A normal day at the office, or is it? A group of employees appears to be engaged in a routine conversation. They're at ease, unaware that an unseen presence lurks in the room. However, the footage shows objects in the background moving on their own, visibly frightening the staff. Sometimes ghosts manifest their presence by concentrating all their energy on moving an object. One woman notices this strange movement, and perhaps even feels the unusual energy in the room. This footage looks as if it were straight out of a paranormal movie. Do you think this office is haunted? And by whom might it be haunted? Let me know in the comments.
The Roanoke colony was one of the first English attempts to establish a colony in the New World on the coast of North America. The explorer John White had founded a colony on Roanoke Island of present-day North Carolina in 1587 and contained about 120 people. When John decided to get additional supplies, he was attacked by a French ship and was forced to return to England. When he returned 3 years later, the island was completely deserted. All the buildings had been pulled down by hand, and the only clue he could find was the word Croatoan carved into a tree. Several theories suggest that they were attacked by Spaniards or that the settlers were taken to a nearby island where they had joined a Native American tribe. Today, scientists still don't know exactly what happened to this lost colony.
Cthulhu is a fictional monster created by fantasy and horror writer H.P. Lovecraft. The gigantic creature is said to have come to Earth millions of years ago and resides in the deep oceans. Since only 5% of the ocean have been explored, some believe that a monster like Cthulhu could exist in real life. While this has never been proven, a tablet discovered in 2013 featured a head of a creature with tentacles, along with mysterious text and markings. The tablet was reportedly found by an unknown person at an unspecified coastal location. Unfortunately, there's not much info available about this mysterious object. The lack of details make it eerie. While it's possible that the tablet was created by an artist, why would they discard it? What do you think? In this video, what appears to be a first simple scene of friends having fun and jumping over a river quickly takes a strange turn. They had attached a swing to some trees and used it to propel themselves over the water. What happens next is completely illogical. The girl makes the jump and is midway through, when, instead of gliding smoothly, she appears to collide with something and falls awkwardly. Even though nothing visible is present that she could have hit, there should simply be empty space between her and the water, yet whatever she encounters seems solid enough to abruptly halt her momentum. Some claim this is a glitch in the Matrix, suggesting she may indeed have hit something that just wasn't visible.
On December 5, 1945, a team of 5 Grumman TBF Avenger aircraft departed from a naval base for routine exercises. The planes flew over an area known as the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is a spot in the Atlantic Ocean for which boats and planes are said to have mysteriously disappeared. About an hour and a half after takeoff, the control tower received a message in which the pilot sounded disoriented and concerned. He said the compasses had gone out and he was trying to find the airport in Fort Lauderdale. This was the last thing that was said. After a while, more patrol planes were sent out to look for the 5 Grumman planes. The strange thing about this story is that they also disappeared in the same mysterious way and were never found. Scientists have no logical explanation for this. Other people believe a portal was open to another universe, or that it even has to do with aliens.
When we imagine how we might react upon encountering a mythical creature in real life, some of us might scream and run away. But most of us would likely react as this woman did, by filming it and simply being in shock. What happened here was that the woman looked out her window and saw something reminiscent of a scene from the movie Aquamarine, A Mermaid in the Water. The creature was swimming quite close to the shore, which surprised the woman because no one else seemed to notice it. At one point, she even thought it was just a woman who was a strong swimmer. Although she had heard of the myth, she never imagined she would actually see a real mermaid. Mermaids are mythical water beings typically depicted with the upper body of a woman and the tail of a fish. This enchanting figure appears in the folklore of various cultures around the world, including those in Europe, Asia, and Africa, and is mentioned in the ancient texts such as Homer's Odyssey. Over time, depictions of mermaids have changed considerably, but the question of whether they truly exist remains a mystery. What do you think? For centuries, stories have circulated about reptilian beings that inhabit Earth and can disguise themselves as humans. These tales are mostly believed by those who think Earth was visited by extraterrestrial beings in ancient times. As evidence, they point to countless wall carvings of strange creatures, including the Ubaid lizardmen. These were discovered in 1919 by an archaeologist in Mesopotamia, Iraq. The figurines are estimated to date back to 4000 to 5000 BCE. The big question is whether these were mythical figures or real creatures. What makes it even stranger is that some of the figurines are female and are holding reptilian babies. For humans, this is normal, but seeing a reptile do it's quite unsettling. What these artifacts represent remains unexplainable, and they are a significant mystery. Oberon Zell, a prominent figure in modern paganism, is best known for his involvement in creating living unicorns, which was in the late 1970s. His goal was to bring to life the mythical creature depicted in medieval European art. These classical images portrayed unicorns as goat-like beings with split hooves, plumed tails, beards, and most notably, a single central horn. Oberon adopted and perfected a surgical technique, first experimented with by Dr. Dove in 1933, that involved manipulating the horn buds of young goats, which were normally developed in 2 horns, and then reposition them to the center of the forehead. As the goats matured, the horn grew into a single prominent horn, resembling the unicorn of legends. Oberon's unicorn goats were exhibited in the Ringling Bros and Barnum Bailey Circus as the living unicorns, becoming a major attraction as audiences marveled at what appeared to be a mythical creature brought to life. Oberon and his wife also placed some of these animals on sheep farms to protect the livestock.
Apollo 11 was the first successful mission to put the first humans on the moon, including astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. This happened on July 20th, 1969, and is said to have been watched live on television approximately by 600 million people. Since then, there's been conspiracy theories as to whether the moon landing really happened or not. One of the reasons is the lost tapes. In 2009, NASA told a press conference that they could not find the videotapes and audio and that they had most likely been erased. The story goes that in the early 80s there was a severe shortage of tapes, and so they had reused the tapes, which was normal to do at that time. Some articles write about that the moon landing footage still exists but in poorer quality, while others say that about 12,000 tapes have been lost from all kinds of different space missions.
In a bustling city scene, a video captures an unusual and amusing sight, a plastic bag that appears to walk on its own. Typically seen merely as a carrier for groceries or other items, the bag seems to come to life with a bit of imagination. At the bottom, two distinct shapes create the illusion of legs, giving the bag a human-like appearance. The scene unfolds on a busy street, complete with the sounds of honking cars and chattering pedestrians. Amid the crowd and heavy traffic, the plastic bag confidently moves along the sidewalk, as if it had a will of its own. The camera pans across a vibrant backdrop of skyscrapers and shops, conveying the energetic pulse of urban life. The contrast between the bag and its modern surroundings seem to serve as a commentary on consumer culture and environmental issues. Plastic bags, once symbols of convenience, are now notorious for their negative impact on the environment, often leading to pollution and damage. We know that space is filled with planets, stars, and particles, but in 2017, something very unusual flew past. The cigar-shaped object was first spotted in October 2017 in our solar system. It was about 1,312 feet, or 400 meters long, and traveled at a speed of 27 miles, or 44 kilometers per second through space. What exactly this object was is still up for debate. Some think it was just an oddly shaped asteroid. However, some researchers believe it was something extraterrestrial. It's been said that the object appeared to accelerate, leading scientists to theorize that it might have been an unnamed alien spacecraft sent to gather information. According to scientists, the cigar-like shape of this object would be most suitable for traveling through space without any problems. What do you think? From the very beginning of the video, it's clear something isn't right. A dark figure skulks in the corner of the room, yet it isn't fully tangible. What on earth happened here? Was it a ghost? The shadow suddenly moves through the room at an inhuman speed, before eventually disappearing, and then all the lights in the room turn on. When a dark figure like this appears in the corner, it's likely not a ghost, but rather a shadow figure. These are typically described as dark humanoid silhouettes lacking distinct features. There's much debate as to whether these shadow figures are inherently malevolent, neutral, or even helpful. Some believe they're interdimensional beings, or even entities that exist on another plane, while others suggest they may be manifestations of sleep paralysis or psychological phenomena. What do you think this person captured on camera? Could it be a shadow figure, a ghost, or something else entirely?
On October 21, 1978, an Australian pilot named Frederick Valentich was flying over Bay Strait, a strait that separates Tasmania from the Australian mainland. At one point, he informed the control tower that he was accompanied by another flying object about 300 meters above him. He said that it had a shiny metal surface with a green light on top. In his last transmission with the control tower, the pilot tells that it was not a plane but a UFO. Then there was a noise in the audio and the contact dropped. His plane was never found either, so the question is, what could have happened? UFOologists believe that he was taken by aliens in the UFO and that the green light is an important clue to this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
TikTok user WhiteMarie1 has documented some truly eerie occurrences on a rural farm. Whitney had been noticing a series of strange events for a while: unexplained sounds, radios turning on for no apparent reason, and mysterious figures. Recently, however, her farm has become even more unsettling. In a chilling account, she recounts an incident in which her daughter heard an odd buzzing sound while they were in the main barn. The little girl abruptly stopped and asked if her mother heard the buzzing too. Not wanting to frighten her daughter, Whitney pretended she hadn't heard anything, but the girl quickly remarked that she had seen her mother pause as well. In the footage that Whitney later shared, a ghostly buzzing sound is clearly audible both before and after her daughter speaks. Since then, Whitney's continued to capture disturbing sounds on the farm. In one clip, initially difficult to discern, an amplified audio reveals what sounds like a soft voice saying "hey," followed by laughter. In another video from the main barn, a disturbing whistling noise can be heard. Whitney also describes a recent incident where she heard something whisper her name while tending to the horses. One of the horses suddenly became agitated for no clear reason. And when the footage is slowed down, a strange shadow appears out of nowhere. Next on the list is a gear found in a city in Russia. It was reportedly embedded in a piece of coal dated to 300 million years ago. According to scientists, 300 million years ago, there was hardly any animals, and the gear itself wasn't invented until 1825. The Russian man who discovered the object had it analyzed, and tests confirmed the gear was 100% artificially made. It closely resembled a modern component used in microscopes. For many people, this was proof that advanced extraterrestrial life once existed on Earth. Others dismissed this story as nonsense since no media or scientific journals published the discovery. Russian scientists wanted to conduct more tests and avoid drawing quick conclusions. But unfortunately, that's the last known info about this mysterious artifact. After watching this footage, you might start noticing subtle details the next time your favorite celebrity is hounded by the paparazzi. In this particular clip, we see the famous star Scarlett Johansson giving an interview. While she discusses her latest project with a reporter, a woman suddenly appears, only to vanish in thin air. This occurred during the prestigious Golden Globe Awards. What's puzzling is that the other man in the dark suit remains visible, while the mysterious woman disappears. This odd sequence of events has sparked a wave of theories among viewers. Some speculate that the woman mysteriously vanished, suggesting a supernatural or paranormal occurrence. Others claim it was simply a matter of perspective or an optical illusion, caused by the camera angle and the hectic environment of the award show.
The Hanging Garden of Babylon, according to the ancient Greeks, was a paradise with exotic plants and terraces surrounded by walls with towers. It's said to have been located about 80 kilometers south of present-day Baghdad in Iraq. The gardens are said to have been built about 606 to 562 BC. Nebuchadnezzar was the most powerful king of the Babylonian Empire, and he is said to have built the gardens to cheer up his wife, Amidis. It was supposed to help her get used to life in the Great Babylon. The Hanging Garden of Babylon were also one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, as mentioned by the Greek culture. It's unclear if this place ever existed, but if it did, it had completely disappeared today. So scientists think it's somewhere in Iraq, but where exactly is still a big mystery.
On December 29, 2012, a meteorite fell to Earth near Sri Lanka. According to scientists, the meteorite contained fossils and fossilized algae. If true, this would indicate that life exists elsewhere in the universe. It also supports the panspermia theory, which suggests that life is spread through space and did not originate on Earth. Another meteorite, known as the Fukang meteorite, was discovered in 2000 in the mountains of Fukang in China. This meteorite is estimated to be 4.5 billion years old, the same age as our planet. Its uniqueness lies in its composition. It contains palisite, a type of stone-like iron embedded with olivine crystals. The Fukang meteorite is not only scientifically significant, but also visually stunning. In 2008, it was reportedly valued at over $2 million during an auction, although it was never sold. In an intriguing video that has ignited much discussion, a group of strange humanoid figures can be seen leaping off a cliff or ledge. This event has left viewers questioning the nature of what they are witnessing. Initially, some commentators speculated that the figures might be frogs. However, they are far too large to be frogs. Their movements as they jump are remarkably odd. It appears as though they float or glide through midair, then land and leap again. The unusual mode of movement gives the scene an otherworldly quality, prompting viewers to wonder about the origin and nature of these beings. The ensuing discussion has led to various theories. Some speculate that these are unknown life forms, perhaps hybrids or even natural anomalies, while others even suggest they could be aliens.
Lars Matank was a German man who went on vacation with some friends in Varna, a city in Bulgaria. He was involved in a fight with other tourists, and as a result, he could not fly home with his friends. He rented a cheap hotel room, and the next day, he reportedly sent his mother a message saying he felt unsafe and that 4 men were chasing him. A day later, you see Lars arrive at the airport and everything seems fine. A few minutes after, however, he runs out without his luggage. This event was all captured on the airport's security cameras. According to eyewitnesses, he is said to have eventually climbed over a fence and then ran into a nearby forest. Since then, no one's seen him, and it's a big mystery what exactly happened.
In 1964, an object was photographed on the ocean floor by a research vessel near Cape Horn in Chile. The object, which appeared to be an antenna, was named the Eltonine antenna. It stood upright at depths of 2.4 miles, or 3,904 meters. Since then, many have speculated that it might be an extraterrestrial object, while skeptics suggest it's just a peculiar-looking sponge. Sponges are multicellular animals that attach themselves to the ocean floor, and some believe that this object is a carnivorous sponge. While the antenna-like shape's intriguing, others remain convinced it was of alien origin. Curiously, the site has never been revisited to confirm its nature. The footage captured presents a baffling spectacle that invites multiple interpretations, as its true nature remains shrouded in mystery. Whatever's happening, it exudes a menacing atmosphere that draws viewers in with its unsettling display. The scene shows what appears to be a swarm, aggressively converging on a churning mass of another entity. One common theory suggests that the swarm might be a group of bees under attack by bats. In such cases, bees can form large, hovering clusters, especially when they feel threatened or are searching for a new hive, creating a ghostly sight, particularly when combined with the rapid, agile movements of bats exploiting this potential food source. Others propose that this scene might depict birds diving to feed on a large swarm of insects, such as flies or mosquitoes. Birds are adept at detecting swarms of insects, especially during mating season when they gather in large numbers, and this theory suggests that the birds coordinate their attacks using their keen eyesight to target the vulnerable insects, resulting in a chaotic aerial spectacle.
The Ark of the Covenant is a portable sacred chest in which the 2 stone slabs containing the 10 Commandments were kept. The chest was made of a special kind of wood, and the outside was covered with a layer of gold leaf. In the Hebrew Bible, it's described that the Ark of the Covenant was covered on all sides with gold, and it was supposed to be carried by 2 people. Furthermore, the chest would contain Aaron's staff. Aaron was Moses' brother, and the staff would be endowed with miraculous power. It would also contain a jar of manna, which was some sort of edible substance. The Ark of the Covenant is said to have disappeared when the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem in 587 BC. Since then, it's been unclear where the coffin is located. Some archaeologists believe that it's still somewhere in Jerusalem, while others say it's hidden in a church in the city of Axum in Ethiopia, and is said to be guarded by a single monk and no one else is allowed to enter the room.
The Quimbaya artifacts are a collection of golden objects discovered in Colombia, dating back around 1,000 years. One of these artifacts closely resembles a modern airplane. This is particularly strange, as the first airplane was created by the Wright brothers in 1903. The Quimbaya airplane is about 5 to 7.5 centimeters in size. While some believe it depicts a bird or insects, others argue that it's clearly an aircraft, implying that ancient civilizations had knowledge of aerodynamics. In 1994, 2 German engineers, Peter Belting and Konrad Lubbers, created a replica of the object. To their amazement, it could fly when propellers were added. Does this suggest that it was created by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization, or is it purely coincidental? What do you think? While crowds scream in fear, a strange figure is seen flying overhead, prompting the question, what could cause such terror? And could this being possibly be a deity? Hanumanji is a revered god in Hindu mythology, known for his immense strength, devotion, and courage. Often depicted as a monkey god, he's a central figure in the ancient Indian epic Ramayana, where he is a loyal companion to Lord Rama, the 7th incarnation of the god of Vishnu. According to some commenters, the flying figure might indeed be the god Hanuman captured on camera. Celebrated for his unwavering loyalty and bravery, especially in the quest to rescue Rama's wife Sita from the demon king Ravana, Hanuman is believed in Hindu tradition to have been born to Hajana, a celestial nymph cursed to be born as an ape, and Kasari, the king of monkey-like beings. His birth is often seen as a result of divine intervention, as he's considered an incarnation of Lord Shiva. In Hinduism, Hanuman's regarded as one of the immortals, meaning he still lives and could potentially have been spotted in this video.
A plane called Pan American Flight 914 flew from New York to Miami, Florida on July 2, 1955. After several hours, it should have landed at the airport, but was nowhere to be seen. According to the control tower, it would have disappeared from the radar in midair. The plane flew a little bit over the Atlantic Ocean, so an investigation was started, but they couldn't find anything. So it remained a big mystery until 37 years later. In 1992, a plane landed in Caracas, Venezuela. From nowhere, a plane flew up on the radar over the control tower. The pilot of the plane said, "Where are we?" After which he said, "This is Pan American Flight 914, and I need clearance at 9 o'clock in the morning on July 2, 1955. The control tower found the message strange, but allowed the plane to land safely. Then the control tower couldn't resist and asked the pilot, "Did you know that it was 1992 and not 1955? The pilot was shocked and suddenly decided to fly away again without any explanation. The strange thing about this is that the plane eventually disappeared from the radar again completely. This story is said by many people to have been fiction, but others believe that this story is proof of time travel.
In March 1974, the Betts family found a shiny spherical object outside their home on St. George Island, Florida. About the size of a bowling ball, they brought it inside. Strangely, when one of the family members played the guitar, the sphere reacted to the sound, vibrating and emitting a thumping noise. But that wasn't all. The ball began rolling on its own across the floor, changing direction without being touched. It also seemed to respond to weather conditions, and when struck with a hammer, it emitted a ringing sound. The story quickly gained media attention, and even experts couldn't explain the sphere's behavior. The Betts family believed it was of extraterrestrial origin, possibly a remotely controlled object created by aliens. Today, the sphere's whereabouts are unknown, as the family disappeared, and the mysterious ball has never been seen again. Harold Holt, the 17th Prime Minister of Australia, vanished on December 17, 1967. His disappearance remains one of Australia's greatest mysteries, as an extensive search was conducted, but his body was never found. On the day he vanished, Harold was swimming in rough seas. Witnesses reported that he was last seen struggling in the water, and despite immediate rescue efforts, he was never recovered. A joint report by Victoria Police concluded that there were no signs of foul play, suggesting that Holt's disappearance was most likely an accident. Although the official verdict was accidental drowning, over the years, several conspiracy theories have been emerged. Some speculating that Harold staged his own death or escaped to start a new life. You would think that the disappearance of an Australian Prime Minister would garner more attention. What do you think happened to him? In July 2014, a photo emerged that allegedly showed an extraterrestrial being in Victoria Laguna in the Philippines.
Richard Sierra is an American sculptor known for his 42-ton artwork called Equal Parallel Benghazi. He is said to have created it in 1986 for the Reina Sofia Museum located in Madrid, Spain. On November 25, 1990, the enormous artwork was stored in a warehouse because renovations needed to be done. When the museum director wanted to put the artwork back a few years later, it could not be found. Even after a major investigation was done, no clues could be found as to how the artwork had disappeared. In 2006, Richard Sierra decided to make a replica of the original, and had it on display again at the museum since 2009. However, the mystery was never solved, and the original artwork was never found.
In July 2014, a photo emerged that allegedly showed an extraterrestrial being in Victoria Laguna in the Philippines. It drew significant media attention. The photo, taken by a local resident, depicted a small humanoid figure resembling an alien. The being had long limbs and a large head, features common in depictions of extraterrestrials. The image quickly went viral, sparking much speculation and debate over its authenticity. Local news outlets reported on the incident, highlighting both the community curiosity and skepticism. Many residents and internet users questioned the genuineness of the photo, suggesting it might have been digitally altered. But is this merely a reaction of fear, or is the media trying to conceal the existence of a genuine extraterrestrial being? The Philippines is no stranger to UFO sightings either. One notable incident in August 2004 saw more than 10 UFOs spotted over Las Piñas City. Moreover, the country has a history of several UFO sightings, including mentions in the Project Blue Book, a systematic study of UFOs conducted by the US Air Force from March 1952 until its conclusion on December 17, 1969. Have you ever experienced something mysterious? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.